It is with great pleasure that I introduce the next President of these United States, Senator Bernie Sanders. Thank you.
A great tragedy befallen the city of Paris and the nation of France as a whole. I come before you today to talk about the deadly terrorist attacks that were recently committed by the Islamic State in Syria. The death toll rose to 130 men and women, including an American life. French officials have worked hard to apprehend the terrorists and bring back security to France. This attack threatens not only the safety of the citizens of France, but is a threat to everyone and everything that stands for peace and justice in the world. The United States of America needs to stand by France and ensure that no more families will have to mourn the loss of a loved one because of the ruthlessness of a group of terrorists who believe they can destroy our society and strike fear into our hearts. We cannot allow these terrorist organizations to get in the way of our peace and order. That being said, this is not the time to risk the lives of our brave American soldiers in order to combat a threat that is half a world away. We possess the military resources to supply the surrounding countries with firepower needed to take down the force that is a direct threat to them. Countries such as Israel, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia already possess enough firepower to take down the entirety of ISIS. Saudi Arabia has the third largest military budget in the entire world and has a standing army currently larger than the Islamic State's entire military force. All we need to do is provide support and encouragement that will persuade other countries to get involved in eliminating the biggest threat to the nations that they've been building for hundreds of years. It is not in the interest of this nation to be heavily involved in armed conflicts around the world, which is why our government should propose that we only support Middle Eastern countries which can deal with this conflict better than our nation can. While war should always be our last resort to peace, it is not completely off the table. The federal government should take any action necessary to keep our nation secure. If this threat does indeed escalate to the point where militaristic action is required, U.S. troops will be deployed and will fight valiantly to make sure that such combat is not necessary ever again. As one of the world's foremost militaristic and diplomatic powers, I am sure the Islamic State does not want us to be involved and be attacked in a legitimate warfare situation. We have the best troops. We have the best technology. We have the best morale. We have the best commander in the entire world. I'm tired of hearing all the questions about what the U.S. might do about ISIS. When it comes down to it, the government will do everything in its power to protect the public from terrorism. No one should ever question that. This country is about the everyday people who make up the population. Without them, the United States is nothing. I hate hearing congressmen say that we need to send in troops to solve every problem. Soldiers are someone's son or daughter, someone's brother or sister, husband or wife, who has a life and family and friends. It is our job to protect them and value their lives as they are our own. Just because a terrorist sneezes doesn't mean we need to start a peacekeeping operation in the Middle East. Just because they volunteer to protect our nation doesn't mean our soldiers should be sent into battle. If we want our citizens' best interests at hand, we also need to remember that our troops are our citizens, not a resource that is used as a dominating force that can't be dealt with by other countries or by other means. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Yes. Do you believe that there's a way to deal with ISIS in a way other than military force?
It seems to me that this group only wants is trying to overtake cities and kill citizens in the area. Best way to combat ISIS would be to go into the cities where they are located and take care of them, but other countries in the Middle East can take care of that. We just need to support them. If ISIS does attack America, then I think it would be reasonable to send American troops in to defend America.
Thank you.
Do you think the countries surrounding ISIS's territory will be willing to go to war with a terrorist organization that is this large and powerful?
I think the countries would be willing to fight ISIS, but we need to provide them with the support and possibly training troops if they need, and all they need is help from us. We don't need to directly fight ISIS. We will just support those countries to make sure that they will be willing to take care of that problem.
Senator, is there any fear that refusing to send troops to fight ISIS might end up damaging diplomatic relations with the Middle Eastern countries?
If any actions we take in regard to our policies and militaristic action damage relationships with another country, I would be surprised. I think Middle Easterners are sick of all the wars that are going on in their country, and I think they would be grateful to have our help in stopping terrorist organizations.
Yes. How do you plan to keep the peace in the Middle Eastern regions in the future?
Diplomacy. We need to start providing peaceful options to conflicts, and war will be much less likely to break out. Nobody wants war, and I believe that everyone believes that war should only be used as a last resort. Any further questions?
No.
Thank you.